Welcome back to This or That Finals Edition with Kobe and Jatt, of course.
Yeah, C9 victory lap, actually. I think they've already started. Everyone's crowned them NA champions. Nothing could go wrong at this point. Like, it's in the bag, right? Nothing.
They've only lost 2 games all year long.
How could they lose 3 in 5? It's impossible.
The numbers just don't check out. Let's get into it, though. First slide right off the bat. Who are they going to beat next?
Yeah. I mean, I asked you before this what the dive predicted. You told me, I'll let you say what you told me. I told you that I predicted FlyQuest because the last series they played, we've already seen this series in the playoffs. It was with Viper for 2 games and Solo for 2 games. And Solo won one of them and was damn close to winning the second. I think that version of FlyQuest is a little bit better, but I still expect it to be close, and I'm going with that.
Yeah, we had a similar reasoning on the dive. I was talking about not only the top lane changes, and Jizuke in the interview after the series with EG, by the way, said the series got much harder when they had Solo in. So
that means a lot.
I think that's what they'll do. Plus, the fact that I feel like Power of Evil is playing a lot better now than he was going into the first series versus EG. He had a little bit rougher time at the end of summer. He's playing exceptionally well now. So yeah, I definitely like FlyQuest, but I think that EG will have a decent shot. Just favorite.
Last question. Should Power of Evil be on the evil geniuses, or is he stealing the power of evil to use? This is dumb. Slide number 2. I think it's time to move on to the next one. Bigger skill gap, Bang over Wild Turtle, or Ignar over Zeyzal.
I like Ignar over Zeyzal because I've heard so much about Zeyzal not having as impactful of lane phases specifically, and then you look at the champion pool and he plays all these super defensive supports. Ignar, I feel like, just plays everything. He's got this giant ocean, but he also impacts the lane, but roams a lot, engages for the team. Whereas Turtle and Bang, Turtle's been stepping up recently in the last couple of series, and he's getting back to these super aggressive, flashing forward, old style of Wild Turtle. Still favor Bang over him, but I think maybe the Ignar Zeyzal one's bigger.
Yeah, I think this is tough because it depends on how you define skill. I think if we looked at just like how quick do they press their buttons and how good are they at laning, I would say Ignar over Zeyzal, but I think Zeyzal brings so many intangibles. Like, there's a reason he's always on winning teams. So in this case, based on what I've seen from Bang this split, him and Jizuke are neck and neck for EG's best player. I'm going to actually say Bang over Wild Turtle right now is a bigger skill gap than Ignar over Zeyzal because of Zeyzal's intangibles. So disagree with you.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
A
lot of extras before slide number 3. Let's get to it.
All right, next one. Feels worse. Wasting flash, that's terrible. Wasting teleport. Okay, that's fair enough too, especially early in the game, now that it starts that 7-minute cooldown. Wasting TP in the current climate is tough, let's say. I'm going to say my initial reaction is flash. For sure, for me, it's always flash. Teleport also sucks right now because it's very...
are you someone who keeps well stocked on TP, like on a daily?
I have a roommate, so if I run out, then I can steal some from Travis.
So, well, hold on. He's just like your store then. So, like, I feel like this completely depends on where your situation is, because the fact that some stores have sold a year's worth of toilet paper in like a week it's going to feel bad if you're then wasting it. That is a way larger amount of scarcity than a flash or a teleport. We're talking about, Kobe, we're talking about a 5-minute cooldown or a month of not having toilet paper. Like, it's so much worse for the other thing.
How about this? How much toilet paper are we actually wasting? How many?
Look at the picture. That's like at least several rolls.
If you look at it from the FlyQuest point of view, you have no flash. You probably die. They plant a tree. So that's +1 tree for the world. You start wasting TP, that's negative trees for the world. So
normally they wait until slide 8 for the joke. I don't know what we have left for us with 5 more slides.
I'm going. I said flash.
Yeah, I'm going the other thing. You're going this. We're going to slide number 4.
Who would win a Cloud9 or Fnatic? Oh, I want to see it so bad.
I've been waiting.
Yeah, the problem is that our region is really a one region team, and it's Cloud9, and all of our hopes and dreams are on this team.
Mm-hmm.
All the European players that have been interviewed have a lot of respect for Cloud9, but
Mm-hmm.
they have a hard time judging, what their team would do against it because, so all of the rest of the North American teams are, so far below in the standings and everything.
So what's your answer? I've been waiting for this question. It's generally been Cloud9 versus G2, and like no one's answered it because it is impossible to know. But as soon as you commit, that's all anyone's going to talk about because this is all anyone wants to see. So I'm going to I want you to go first.
I'm going Cloud9. You know where I'm going. Boom! It's because of the playstyle. I actually really like the Blabber Niski. Very potent early game mid jungle synergy. They can try and create that action and roam across to the rest of the parts of the map. And I do think that Vulcan really built up the bottom lane here. Big improvements for C9.
So here's what I'll say. When I've thought about this question as C9 or G2, I've generally thought that G2 would be a little bit better because of their pedigree, so to speak, even though C9's looked incredible. And
because
I have
it's a high pressure game, or it's a
because this would be a high pressure game if they play. So generally, I've been thinking all year that C9 is slightly ahead of Fnatic, slightly behind peak G2. If we see the Fnatic G2 final and it looks like G2's back at that point and Fnatic slams them, I'm going to change my answer. But right now, where I still think, I'm going to do an LEC prediction, I still think G2 is going to win the LEC. I'm going to say Cloud9 is better than Fnatic right now.
All right. 2 Cloud9s from the NA.
Yeah, of course. Big surprise. Woo.
Yeah. Whoop-de-woo. All right.
Yeah.
Next slide. Honestly, also, it's because if they lose to Fnatic, then what do we have left?
Fnatic might be the best team in the LEC. You'd still have a great Cloud9 team left. Okay, better mid jungle duo.
Down to the losers bracket. Better mid jungle duo though. Jizuke and Scared, Power of Evil and Santorin. Ah man, instant answer for me. Jizuke and Svenskare. Wait a second.
What?
Maybe not so.
Kobe.
Instant.
No, it's not so instant. I was gonna say that it's that because in thinking about the matchup between FlyQuest and EG, and thinking about how the game is played right now, like the power of your mid jungle is very greatly tied to the power of your team. And if I think FlyQuest is going to beat EG, that means Power of Evil and Santorin are a better mid-jungle duo. I'm going with those two.
I do feel like Svenskaren is a more risk-loving jungler, so has the potential to go more all in on level 2 ganks mid, maybe, with Jizuke, who also likes to play matchups very aggressively. So it kind of depends on what you want, because Power of Evil.
But what do you want?
Or what do I want? Yeah, I want early action.
So then it's this for you.
And
you were almost instant.
Jizuke and Svenskaren are more likely to give you that early action, try and take over the game, than roam later on. That's why I was like, oh, instant. But I really think Santorin and Power of Evil have both been very good in the recent series. So
okay.
That's why I kind of give it a pause after that. But we'll remain split. I'll stick with
Okay.
EG.
I like it the more we split on, because then inevitably when someone tallies up who was right or wrong, we'll know it was me. We'll know for sure it was me rather than you just agreeing all the time. Okay, next slide.
I know that the time that we did it back when me and you were hosting, I did come out on top.
I don't remember.
I've since lost every one to Captain Flowers, so we won't mention
he
that.
retired the champ. Who will be stronger in summer?
Ooh. I have been burned too many times putting my stock in Team Liquid.
What about TSM, dude?
Do I reinvest now?
How many times have you been burned by TSM?
Well, I didn't invest in TSM this year like I did with Team Liquid.
Okay.
But you're talking about the players and what you expect on paper. I feel like we just did not get that, but I still can't shake the feeling that Team Liquid will come back.
Okay, Kobe.
I can't do it. I'm going TSM.
What? Who will be stronger in summer? Team Liquid won 4 splits in a row.
They burned me.
TSM hasn't been good in 2 years.
They burned me too long. Too many times.
It's that. Look at their roster. They have Broxa now. He's settled in. It's Team Liquid. Come on. Again, disagreement. So it's good. Yeah.
It is. I feel like going for TSM is way more risky, but
yes,
man, Team Liquid burned me so hard this split. I lost all of my stock money.
Yeah,
That's
you
why
all in Team Liquid for
Jatt
years.
won by going negative. I was second place by also going negative. Next slide.
Yeah. Good question though.
More ill-advised salty Runback. TSM for FlyQuest, or are we saying ill-advised from TSM's perspective as they are the losing?
Yep. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say we're going to do this one from TSM's perspective because weirdly enough, we never see this. And it's often because even the team who wins has something that they might be able to adjust. I can't get into it. Everything's weird about this. But what I think we've kind of consensed on is that the TSM drafts were weaker than their opposition's drafts in both games, which is the main reason we saw the losing team willing to opt in for the salty Runback. I think they were more disadvantaged from draft versus FlyQuest.
I like that because I initially was like, it's going to be hard for them to repeat what they did in that first game, given these two drafts, repeat the successes. So that's why running into the 100 Thieves TSM one, I was like, oh, interesting. Like they're actually gonna run it back here from 100 Thieves side. And I had a bit of question, but running back to FlyQuest one, I was like, ooh, that's actually bold from TSM. I think that will be difficult to repeat. Next slide.
Yeah, I agree. They're on this. Better riff soundtrack. Oh, man. Okay, so this is Ocean and Lo-Fi, Wind and Jazz, Earth and Metal, Fire and Electronic. This is kind of just your preference in music. Do you listen to music when you play League?
I don't actually most of the time to try and have audio cues.
Yes.
I do when I get tilted. Then I start listening. So I'm narrowing it down for me. It's either between Lo-Fi Ocean or Fire Electronic. My brother and my brother plays jazz, and my mother loves it and listens to it. So I've heard that my entire life growing up. Grew sick of it. Can't handle it anymore. Not a big fan of metal and screaming with screamo. So I'll hand it over to you with these two options.
For such a troll question, there's actually a lot packed here because we're also talking about like I'm influenced by how I feel about the power of the Drake and like the buffs that it gives and all these really random things. But I think mostly we're just talking about how the map looks and the music you listen to. And if I'm playing League, if I'm going to listen to music, it's going to be the Lo-Fi. And Ocean Drake, you're healing up. As a jungler, you're going to be higher health more often. It is clearly this, not that, or the other thing, or the other thing, however the hell they decided to have us pick between four.
In the interest of more disagreement, I'm going to go with the Fire Electronic then. More open space on the map.
So what is it then? Is it this, that, or this thing? I guess it's no.
I can't actually see it.
The sticky note is wrong. So it says or the other thing, or this thing, or not that thing, but this thing. They couldn't even figure out how to word the fourth one, so they gave us that sticky note.
Yeah.
It's the fourth one is what you picked.
The bottom.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, our setup's a little bit too small for this. Tune back in next week, though. Are we going to do one right after finals? I have made a mistake.
I think that's something you should know before you say to tune in next week. But tune in to Twitter and YouTube and Reddit comments because now the producers are obligated to update the community on whether or not we're doing it since Kobe has brought up the quandary. They didn't even ask us who would win the finals, Kobe. Do you know how much bad juju that brings to C9 and their chances? I am not a superstitious person, so I love saying stuff that just gets to superstitious people. No way Cloud9 loses. It's not going to happen. They will win it all, for sure. We'll see you next time.